So, just wanted to share with you a little bit of my own experience of being homebound these last couple of days. Quite a interesting experience to have a force, sort of a lockdown. And I have to say that I'm actually enjoying really doing nothing, being with my daughters and playing games and really it's just being. I think in so many ways, receiving this gift of coming home to the self has been really beautiful for the most part. And it's also allowing and giving the opportunity to really sit and see myself. No need to wear makeup during the day or any time of the day. No need to even really fuss with my hair. All mask off. And maybe some of you are really experiencing that for the very first time, that you get to really look at yourself. Unfiltered, raw, and to sit with that and to be with that and to love that. For me, I know it is this coming home to full acceptance of who I am, to gaze at all the things that are coming up for me. And there's a whole lot of stuff that, just like all of you, that's coming up for me as well. What my fears are, what I'm anxious about. And every time I ask myself the question, actually, Amanda, what are you fearful of? There's always silence, which tells me that there really isn't anything to be afraid of. It's just whatever I'm conjecting in my mind, over-processing, overthinking stuff that makes me afraid. And so I've been practicing, just like I say all the time in yoga class, is this being present with myself, this loving the opportunity to immerse and fully be with all of me, because there's nowhere to go, there's no escaping it, there's no escaping me, there's no escaping the feelings that come. And what a wonderful gift to be able to enter into that space and to meet myself and wherever there may be sadness and wherever there may still be grief, whatever wounds are still sharp, that I can get to go into that place and sit with it and be with it versus running away. And for the last 2 years, it's, losing my husband has been the biggest life changer for me in so many ways. What we're going through now is changing many people's lives in ways that they've never thought of. And it's very similar to, in some ways, losing a loved one. Your life changes. And with his passing, there was so much that I never thought of before. How to be a single mom, even though my daughters are now both in college. And yes, women do it all over the world. But that was never my reality. Learning how to be alone with myself. I've never not been alone, and that took some getting used to. Um, Being afraid of how am I going to do it all by myself. So these were some of the things that I was so anxious about, so fearful about. But I found that it was when I took myself into the future, into tomorrow of the how it was going to be done, that my anxiety greatly increased. And having this opportunity that we're all having now to reset. I'm getting an opportunity to go back and just see where are the areas that need my attention. Maybe it's something emotional. Maybe it's something spiritual. But it's given me so much gratitude to really be present for all of me. I tend to be a giver. And even during this time, I've been balancing, how much do I give and how much do I remain in quiet. And so it's a balancing act for sure. But yes, presence, being able to just be still, being able to do nothing. And I know that's not something that everyone can do, especially people that have younger children and you're kind of home cooped up with the young ones. But we're all learning different things during this experience, because we're all in different places. So I just wanted to give you, share a little bit of my update during this time, leaning into every moment, however uncomfortable it may be, allowing myself to navigate through the anxieties that come up for me. And a lot of that really is what I find is coming back to the whole discussion on death and dying, right? It's and I think for a lot of people too, the fear that we feel is, if I catch this thing, am I gonna die, or is my loved one gonna die? And I think part of our fear with that is we're not ready for it. We don't even discuss it. And so there's the fear of the unknown. But what I'd like to maybe put forth is maybe during this time when we're all hunkered down with each other, with our family members, that maybe now is a really good time to talk about it. To talk about what scares you as a mother, as a father, and share that with your children. Open up your heart in a very compassionate way. And maybe this is a time where we can mend some tears in the fabric of our families, and come to some form of healing. It's a great opportunity for all of us to reconnect the strands that bind us together, and utilize this time very wisely. So if you are allowing yourself the opportunity to be still, just say thank you to yourself for that. If you are in deep fear, as I think we're all going through waves of some sort of anxiety and fears that'll pop up, I just want to remind you to pause for a moment, Maybe close your eyes. Notice your breath. Notice the flow of life moving through you, around you, in you. And just really open yourself up to the present moment. And as you do that, you can just feel into the now. And the now will reveal everything that you need to know. And the most important thing is, in this moment, you're well. And so it brings you back into anchoring into your body, into not flying high off the charts in worry, rooting yourself into this moment. So I think if we all do that, when we begin to feel the tendrils of those anxious moments starting to rise up in us, which we will, we can remind ourselves of the tool that we already have, which is breath, which is stillness and silence. And we can come home to our heart, we can come home to the self. And we could be reminded that God is with us and has always been with us, and we're not alone. And I think part of our fear is this sense of being alone as well. So maybe that means we read scriptures to keep us company and to empower us, or we read poetry, or whatever it is that it inspires you. Listen to the news a little less, social media a little less, and really find what anchors you into your joy. Honestly, for me, I've just really been doing a little bit of nothing. And I'm really enjoying that. It's a magnificent gift. And I'm getting to decide who I want to be. How do I want to show up in my life? Not for anyone else, just for me. I get to connect with all the feelings that have come up for me in the last 2 years since my husband's passing, and to make peace with those feelings as well. Whatever hasn't been resolved or healed, I'm going to use this time to do that. But mostly I'm going to use this time to actually love myself so much. I think this is the first time that I'm actually fallen in love with me. I've always fell in love with other people. But now I get to fall in love with me, to be there for me, to hold me like a mother or father would hold me, or like a grandmother, to, all of it. So, that's my musing. Again, breathe. Come to your center. Laugh, smile. Be raw, be naked with yourself. Be unfiltered. Maybe this is the one time where you can allow the truth of who you are to come to the surface, right? No mask. The mask is off, right, for all of us. No need to pretend to be someone or something else. We can learn to accept ourselves and to love ourselves exactly as we are. Yeah. I love you. I love me. I love life. Be well.